Jones car. Yeah, the bigger, more.
Yeah.
Man, that's a useful car. You know, we came there to rental, and that was the only left, so they gave us an upgrade. When we saw our upgrade, we were like, this is a nice upgrade.
Yeah, we also actually got an upgrade. We would have called a smaller car, so the Octavia is already not great.
Yes, the power bank and
Because we were supposed also not to just take alley, but also to take boxes for the Christmas tree, but somehow we managed to get it into the car.
Oh, they got, on and on. They were supposed to work up. That's all I see.
and
Did you really go on?
No, just alley.
Oh, seriously? Because we were showing from rental, yeah, these are some fancy things. I don't know what it is.
So, we're just seeing if they're not having any time soon, we'll just do the crossovers.
What's the schedule for today's one?
The car? Yeah.
Liza Curry.
Yeah.
Wait,
You're so confused. You wrote the schedule.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why it's.
No, it's PM.
Yeah, Wednesday long.
Chicken hot pot. Chicken hot
chicken hot pot. You are a chicken hot pot.
I'm going to take that as a great compliment.
No, with that camera, you all look like a chicken hot pot. You look like it, I don't know what. Imagine somebody looking at this data, so they're not really way to, what was in their head, you know, like to,
I think, it's really going to turn out to be a study on what happens when you squeeze people's heads with the camera stuck for a day.
hey, that's why I was tired.
That's why we have a control group without cameras.
No,
And there's all this impaired brain function.
we need
I'm
to,
not joking, yesterday.
like,
turn it on and then plug it in again.
This thing
And
is
then turn it
This
off.
was not a camera.
wait for like 10 minutes, I think.
Just do it, put it down and wait again.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Well, it must be that's like,
Was there leftover rice?
yeah.
Where is it? It's in the fridge.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Hey.
And I'm
I think
asking
most
why.
people didn't finish that. The fellow that was like some
Was
things
it
with
lower?
our,
I didn't hear it, I think.
that lady was really tired.
Very good.
Yeah.
You had bad days to come to my park, and you appear at, what, 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Actually, you say it as a joke, so. She was nice, she's very capable, she's doing everything by herself.
Yeah. Well, I guess you need to, when you live out here, you need to do a number of things yourself. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen somebody left, right, you know. She did a cleaning room for it and everything.
Yeah, of course.
Gick jag och där?
Very capable. I think she's also on the piano now, maybe 60.
Làm con nhớ lại rồi.
Yeah.
Bố ơi, bố đây. Yes.
You won't
Yeah.
find the stuff in Amsterdam anymore. It's mostly empty toilets, and I wonder, why am I doing this?
No.
Overcoat and all that?
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Most people think they're overqualified for everything. If they give them my job, they would probably think I'm overqualified.
Ôi.
Venom? Yeah, it's just like some video.
Phải là năm mốt thì phải là.
Yeah.
I'm compressed
I know. Ủa
the
ghê.
I'm supposed to
I
be
don't
Elon Musk, probably everybody thinks.
I have experience.
You want to
We made a
I'm really bad
Very
You are very mad at that, okay?
You got fish for me?
Yeah.
Incredible. I'm really mad at that.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I would, for some reason.
I think you should probably not throw any further. I don't think it'll get better.
Yes, I got that captain. Not too bad.
So, speaking of master students, you will see when I met with the master was in Apple Cooking. This is master student class.
Wow.
Used to be
No.
master. You just see somebody, yeah, the master level it was very clear that
Yeah.
he's made for good stuff.
Yes.
Tầm tám nhân tám này.
Bảy.
Yes.
You get ready for that one.
Oh. I didn't know that. That's
Oh my God!
Here.
No, nobody goes to the doors, no.
Hey, somebody, door.
Hey.
I think the other way. I would have done if you had.
Beautiful ring.
Sorry.
Proper shopping?
You need help with carrying? It's almost done. Okay.
Almost there, I think. Okay.
You just put me out.
Hey.
I think so.
I gotta slip my son, I'm not going
Hey, boss,
Everything is ready for the oven.
let's go, boss.
Yes, let's go. Go to the oven.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, boss, thank you, here. Super. Rich.
We're not using the leak out, right? Only
We got another 235 euros.
235 euros.
What? We went shopping.
Yeah, what have you been doing? Did you get cheese?
We got lots of cheese.
Oh, God.
Why? Ali?
What? Why are you giving me this?
You wanted it.
No,
For your house. You said you only have one left. No, how many?
this
Hello. Hello. Back one.
Stop the here. We'll be back there.
dishwasher.
Yes,
The ladies, Björn, the ladies from the house,
I'll let you know. That's why you have to eat. That's not gonna work. This is a good. Dishwasher's off.
Still setting up?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, we're on the camera.
You know which part?
Oh, yes.
I need a kitchen like this, you know?
I've got my camera. Wait a second. Do you know which bus I make myself?
Power pack. SD card. We got fantastic cards.
Yeah, it's okay.
See? Guten Morgen. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yes.
Good
You
morning.
okay?
Yes. After I was let in, I was okay.
It took me a while. You rang like 3 times, I think.
That's possible, yes.
Yes. The first time I managed to win it into my dream.
Yeah. Oh.
Like very effortlessly, it was just part of my dream somehow. Second time I'm like, what the hell is wrong with my phone? I was like, oh, maybe there's someone at the door. It could be a doorbell.
Yeah, I learned that I need to take the key when I go outside, even just for a little bit at night.
Yeah. So apparently, you may have left the door ajar a little bit. A little bit open. And so then that was what prompted Cajo to actually lock.
Oh, I see.
If you hadn't done that, you probably would have gotten away with it. So.
But do you wanna get
He
down?
left the door
on
open. I
day?
came down 12:15 and somebody left the door open.
I'm pretty sure I closed it behind me, but it must have not been fully closed.
Definitely not.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was actually working, listening to some music, and I thought I heard a door.
I saw the light in your room, so I tried to call you.
You
with
did,
signal and
but my
on
phone
WhatsApp.
goes into silence at 10 o'clock.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
So you got spotted?
You're trying to.
Can you put this in?
You failed.
Yes. Next time, I know to actually know what. I don't even need the key. I just need to leave the window open in my room because it's right at the balcony.
Yeah, we get this done. I won't turn on the
Do
camera
you
yet.
want to change room?
Why?
I
This is good.
I have a very small room.
Oh, wait. No. I know your room. I've seen your room. And I'm pretty sure calling it a room is maybe an overstatement.
When the battery is not full enough, you can make
I will
change.
let you know, I'll have you know, I enjoy having a door. But do you have a bathroom?
No, I have to use the one downstairs.
Get another one.
So,
It's probably just wrong.
It's just
where would you find a
sometimes.
bathroom in the attic?
I mean, that's what I was wondering.
Just so I had issues with everybody.
Cathal, I don't think your camera is quite straight.
That's how it is. I don't have any choice.
Oh,
No.
Just wait a sec.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
What did it say?
It's not.
Not enough battery.
Ah,
It'll be fine.
so you have to
Where's
unplug
Tia?
it and do
Come here.
it, and, like, yesterday you had that.
yeah.
Um,
It
Hey,
worked-
Cathal.
What, sir?
No, I'm talking to Cathal.
Oh.
Anybody want towels washed?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Very good.
Yeah, bring them all down.
Can you come here with me? Turning on your camera.
Yo.
We could do is some of the kitchen towels if you want.
Yeah, I'll do them all as well.
Adam,
Yeah.
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 He said is okay, right? No
He says 6:30. Yeah, 7:30 seems fine. Right? 923. Good.
Like what he said, I think from here, but now we
Not
put this
designed for
one.
long hair.
Alright, 9.
Yes.
Well, it's safe.
It should be safe because you got an hour, right? In which case trains aren't too
And you
expensive.
put it on
Okay, fine.
noodle for.
This one?
I don't know before.
Like that.
Proceed. Yes.
Không được tại vì tóc nó chị lấy được trên.
Which case, I can even drop you there, right?
Yeah, stop.
Maybe we can go for coffee.
Finish.
It's okay. We don't need that.
We'll tell them later. Let's just get a book first. Right, let's get a book first. Make sure everything's safe.
You know what? I'm absolutely sure if some of these crazies, you know, like conspiracy theorists see this experiment, they're gonna be.
I think we also finished all of the water.
So we did and the vaccine content, you know.
Day 2!
Yay, great.
5G.
About a lot. Several terabytes yesterday. 6, 7, 8 terabytes.
6, 7, 8 hours.
Very large.
Copying the data.
Yeah.
What?
We're
Yes.
copying it.
It's such a good thing to do. Nordica? Myanmar? Nordica.
Why I hadn't put my email many times.
Yeah, yeah.
Mothership is coming.
I can tell you that I love all these booster vaccinations just a week before coming here.
You set up an account? May have set up an account first.
Yeah. Ok mà. Gặp họ con ra phải không? Học cái bên thao trước của mày. Chị bật cái bên thôi.
I think you need an account.
Multiple times.
Tell you what. Oh, there's cameras here. I can't put them onto TV.
No.
I should get this on camera.
Look out. That's right.
It's going to be accessed by everybody in the world.
Turn it off first.
Maple something. Yeah, they look different.
The ones
The one on top.
the
Yeah.
one on the top. Okay, then I have to put it on a separate plate.
We send her
Here's how
email.
all of the, for something, they have like these
Okay.
€4
Oh.
€4 delivery, so.
They don't make it easy.
Xin kham.
It has processed feelings, so.
Now you should be able to log in.
If you search separately,
It's a really high start.
I mean, it's the same place they went to earlier,
Makes
right?
no sense because normally you can should be allowed to generate
Yeah.
salary.
You're in Galway. Yay.
You may be laughing as much as you want, but for the place at the very edge of the common,
Actually,
is it really sugar because of it's only kind of wet. Yes. Can we use it or not? Yeah, sure.
Jennifer will process all the claims for everybody.
For coffee.
Apparently, Ali Cornelia is not entirely unknown to the Irish.
So what is with the virtual?
The beach.
Over breakfast.
Over breakfast?
Yeah, okay.
What will people?
It's going to be about what's the grand challenge. Yeah. What does it look like? I think interactive, but I can be over it.
Yeah.
It's just when you ask for something BBSLSE like, I mean interactive.
Yeah. Yes.
Done.
Should be.
Okay, great. Now be turn my camera.
That changed the.
Credit card details, we're going in. Okay.
Here you go.
How do
Sugar already. Give it to Werner.
It's on. Do I have to do anything with time? I just turn it on and press go.
You off.
Yes, this is my first time turning it on.
See the tab.
Oh, there is something.
Yeah.
No problem. You have power. Try it.
Not enough power.
Unplug, turn it off, unplug, give it a try again.
It smells so good, Stefan. You're a chef.
This was IKEA action.
Oh, yeah, one's for me. You take your shampoo. We have banana or we have
What is that, man?
banana shampoo.
Banana shampoo. I've never seen it.
Banana
Looks like
shampoo.
that.
You need it when you walk.
Yeah. Gunda tea.
Well, I think Carl takes the banana shampoo.
Really?
It's not happening again.
You chose that.
He chose it.
Hey, come on,
He
guys.
didn't have enough yesterday.
Come on, guys. There was no pineapple left. So we have to go bananas.
I'm not straight.
Hey, it's good to move that, Carl.
Yo.
Move that shampoo from the kitchen. Somebody's gonna mistake it as a topping for pancakes.
Yeah.
There's left over right.
Did you get a shampoo? Boss. Did he get a shampoo? I bought 3 shampoos. One is for him. There, look.
Pay attention.
12 seconds.
Did you get a shampoo?
Yeah.
Oh, you can have it now.
I'll check. Wait a second, I can check this.
Which one do you want? Both them up or one of them?
Oh, no. Yeah, I should get coconut.
What do you want? I think,
Coconut or banana? Coconut. Put it in your pocket.
thank you.
Boss. Shampoo.
This one is really good for some reason. It has also very different units, it's 0 to 6. All the other ones are with degrees. I'm assuming these are 0 to 6 degrees because it was so weak. Okay.
It's probably just for keeping food warm.
Yes, it might be your heat.
I made a mistake, I went to the room, like this.
Good.
Did you ever go?
No.
If you managed to, I went to the room by mistake.
There is nothing that is.
You mean Mr. Leo?
Yeah, I did.
Not sure what's not yet lying around.
The camera for this very thorough.
So there is
Okay. Does anybody want a towel wash
No, wait a second, do we have a glove? Glove, no, we have
Give me your towels.
You prepare more coffee.
Yes, I need for someone to come
Towel water. You got your own. You got
Yeah,
your
we
own.
have your own.
And the left one's not near close. Sorry, thank you. Look at this. How is this possible? The same, I think. This is incredible. So these ones are all done, and I'm jacking from there these, and they are not even a kind of.
Exactly, that's what I said, that one is useless.
Sure. Move it over. Yeah. So let me not decrease this one.
Anybody else want fresh towels?
Is this okay?
What?
Is this okay?
Wash and dry towels. There's a towel service happening this morning.
You know what I mean?
I would like that.
There is-
Just put my towels out so that they're not drying properly.
No,
Go first.
say something.
You're on camera.
Like what we were saying yesterday. Look at this. Look at this, they are not even breathing, and this one's full now.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with this.
Okay.
Oh,
My camera work.
Yes. Don't bring my towels.
Anybody else want a towel wash?
Where's the cold brew? It's all true.
No. Nobody wants towels washed.
Where do I bring the towels?
To me.
Extra for your mark.
And then it depends if you do coffee kettle style or real coffee. Depending on how much coffee you do.
Do a proper coffee.
Yeah, I did one in the morning.
Don't do a camel style, apparently.
Yeah, look at this.
Ah, there you
This
go.
one's, I was looking at this. Look at this. Nothing. No, but I didn't even start. And these ones were done. So this side doesn't work. Everything. Yeah, that works, but very slowly. Actually, I think the thing that right is also what we noticed with some of these. This one, for example, is very crappy, remember?
That's good.
So, but if you want to play cards, then
It's not so good.
Yeah, it's a moment, but we didn't use it yesterday. We did it properly.
what games do you play?
From the original spices, not the free mix.
Yeah? No, we haven't.
Which one, the bowls?
We don't have any card games.
Maybe you want to have cornflakes.
We don't really.
Yeah,
Maybe we should take out
Anybody? Anybody?
Six different types of colors.
Okay.
And, yeah, you pay 65 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a different deck.
Yeah, completely different type.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the cards with me. Werner, I can
Okay. Yeah. So we had a game called Rummy.
Rummy, yeah.
Rummy, you know that?
I know.
So you can put down sequences or matching things. Alright? So let's see if we're going to get tricky.
I think it's very long time ago, I think. You need to remember me.
So you can put down sequences. So
fold is to get rid of. And every turn you have to draw one. You have to put down one. And in between,
Okay.
you may put down either you can put down a same fruit, or you can put down like 3 or 3 so you.
Okay.
I think just at the end, whoever wins, you basically get the points left on their. No, sorry. You get the points here, and then you just count normal.
Yeah.
Like you just count so 10 is a 10, Jack is 11, and so on. And then you subtract whatever you have or your.
Okay. But if I put down 3, 4, 6,
Yes, that's just 12.
just and I also 4, 5, 6, but it must be the same color, right?
Yes.
Okay. I got this.
You gotta go again.
Okay, and I start with.
Yes, you start. You have to
draw first.
always draw and always put down.
Okay.
And I think the deuces are white.
Yes.
So you can use them the white way. So you can use them for anything.
The 2 is a white card.
Yes. So the way you play, you cannot actually put down on the first round. So neither of us can put down the first round. So it doesn't. Just to. Yeah. So, but then you have to end up by putting a card down.
Aha, here.
Right.
Oh, yes.
And you can draw. So the options are you can draw one from here. You can take the top card, or you can take the entire stack.
Unorthodox drawing technique.
And now take from here.
Yes.
I memorize
If you put something down and you have one more card, the matches you can put down, you can extend on your
So the
card.
road was out here, yeah.
So now you can
This
do
one,
it.
and we have they wrote in the back.
Yes? So now, so you are wild, so I can extend yours.
So you can extend mine also?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And then this is for aces.
Okay, so you're not looking.
Yeah.
I see, okay. Yeah. All right.
And basically, the rule was that we're counting, you count the twos as 2 here. But if you're on your hand, it's 10.
The 2s, really?
Yes, so that makes it a wild card. So if you need them, if you haven't used them,
And the queen and the king there are 10s.
well, they're 7 and 13. That's
Ah, okay.
maybe no. But this one is basically on the table is 2. On your hand.
Okay, I don't know.
So I think these are the rules.
There was a glue, there was a glue.
Things in our release that played this and they were writing down scores. And they did this amongst at some point. Always keeping track of the scores. And it was going down, of course, normally around 0.
Incredible. How many cards?
8. 3, 2, 3.
On the side around.
3.
It's gonna be really in real life, in chess.
There was if you put down like everything, if you close by so not on the first round, remember? If you
Took
close,
something out tomorrow.
if you close by emptying your hand completely,
Yeah.
that would give like a 50 over.
They don't take it.
And you can only put down the same type if there is 3.
Yeah. So you can always only put 3. Like 3 is the minimum.
Okay.
Let's go.
Now you can put down whatever.
Okay. So, and I can also use this one.
Yes, you can.
The workshop happens during the breakfast. Oh, that looks so nice.
And
Anna chocolate.
Okay.
First.
There you go. Yes.
then I say 1,
Yes. Well, I was gonna say, if you couldn't finish, then I would not use the wild card.
Yes.
Because I would keep it as an option for extending, because of course, you might get, you might get 9, 10, you might get a jack here.
Yes.
And then 2 wild cards.
I just said somewhere different this time.
Right, but it is. Yes, that's good. Extend slightly to 3, 4.
So we can be a Germany. Maybe, yes.
Beyond that, it's you start to run out.
Yeah, but I guess. Maybe it makes it
The most fun is when you have it stack and you get everything, because then you can, even if you lose the game, you can sometimes get lots and lots and lots of points.
Oh, I see.
If you're counting the points, you can actually pay off.
Yeah. What you draw?
Check the color of the tongue.
Put down one.
Yes.
It's absolutely not hard.
You don't know anything. You don't know anything about my hand.
Yeah.
Another camera.
Yeah.
Look at his camera.
Look at the camera. It's not that's not a picture, right?
In front.
Yeah, but it's in reflection.
Oh, right. And of course we use that. We use you see it? Almost. But we should do this, right? It's alright.
Okay, I guess we're ready for breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast, let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
Change seats.
That one was still high.
You should sit here this time. Yeah, I'm changing seats.
Yeah. You look all the way back there. That would be very impressive, I think.
Teleportation.
Florian, there are 2 seats that have perfect goals ready.
Oh, where is the other one? Oh, there it is. Then I guess this is my seat now.
That's your seat.
Very good. Do we have milk? Yes, we have milk. And we have Miwali.
That's not orange juice.
I know.
That is sugar water.
Sugar
You're
water.
right, you know.
It's very
That is
sweet.
sugar water.
I will have chilled orange juice made from concentrate.
Yes, that is also sugar water. It's just
Yeah.
less sugar water.
Yeah,
than
that's
sugar water.
Goes
I
against
feel like
sugar.
made from concentrate just means this is already pre-mixed Miwali.
Yes.
No,
It's not going to be. I didn't know.
What about the vitamins? Oh.
I bought it. I'm going to say you have some food.
wherever you like, but randomized.
It's so against like vegetable oil.
You can check that
Actually,
But then you,
those are really bad for
but
you.
then you go on and eat like 1 kilogram steak.
That's actually not bad for you.
High cholesterol.
No, cholesterol are less of a big deal than you think. That's like 60s American diet recommendation. Look how well that turned out for America.
Once we get the comically oversized pack of cornflakes,
I actually thought people would want them.
You want to get cancelled by the Americans.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I?
no,
Just add to my list of cancelling people.
you have to be very careful with the Americans. They are known to cancel people, sometimes by force. Can I have some milk, please?
No, but it's true. The FDA guidance about low fat that was issued in the 60s and 70s led to
They increased the sugar, but they didn't have like a low sugar intake and a low fat intake as well.
and the low protein intake. Then you got to start. I got the high protein,
High protein,
high fat.
maybe not high, but medium fat.
Alright, high protein, high fat, high sugar. In and out hamburgers is
If everything is high, doesn't that mean everything is weak?
it's all equal.
Alright.
Milk concentrate.
Oh, yeah, one life. Well, there is such a thing, yeah.
So when this is,
Alright.
6 December, that's
It cannot be better by shaking.
We did shake it, so we have the orange one.
We have to shake it.
No, I showed
There is no.
I showed one of the orange juice.
Okay, I don't know which one.
Oh, you drink
Oh,
orange.
there's no bits.
Orange in the middle.
There's no bits of concentrate.
Yeah, but every orange juice is better by shaking.
I put, you know,
It gets
one Guinness glass.
more frothy and.
So, which one?
But with bits especially.
Yeah.
I'll try one of them.
And which one was remain?
So.
I think I've also not tried one chocolate.
Yes, it's very nice. I eat these.
Actually, try one normal one chocolate.
Yes. I want.
These are really good.
Do we?
They're really good.
Do we have
I have a milk.
You can buy them at Dunn's and cook them.
They're looking for butter.
butter and cheese?
I don't think we have butter.
Oh, we have a cheese. Shall I cut some cheese?
No, you're the hardest person to get out. Stay where you are.
Yes.
Okay,
Sit down, sit down.
yeah, but we need some cheese, maybe.
Cheese and butter.
Cheese and butter.
You want some nice apple
In a fridge?
Yeah. So just like bring the cheeses and one board for cutting and a knife.
Okay.
They are in the door,
These
you
are
know.
pretty good. IKEA.
IKEA.
They're from IKEA?
No,
They're from IKEA.
Some assembly required.
They come with the screws and everything, you know.
No, minimal assembly required.
Yep. Parts might be missing.
I didn't know what to do till you're back, so I put some egg on top. Probably totally unnecessary.
So here's the butter.
Thank you.
That's a good butter.
Peanut butter.
You're cooking a lot for our breakfast.
Well, I use the other one because this one's salted. And
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
The other
Some
one
cheese.
was not salted.
Okay.
I'll check.
And do we have board for cutting? Maybe board for cutting, like the plastic board?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just have making your own butter.
Awesome.
Leave you in the house.
French Gruyere.
Double green.
Are you fine with this one?
But you know, he doesn't eat butter. I eat my own butter. It's fine, I eat another kind of butter.
So there's more
So-
IKEA cheese.
Granddad needs
Yes.
Before you open that one, maybe you want to use the one that's.
Yeah, totally.
I did not think that you were serious when you said you bought more cheese, but now we have. I think if we only had the cheese, we would not
Oh,
starve.
this is IKEA cheese, eh?
This doesn't have calories.
No, you're carrying
It lasts the whole day.
Honestly, I think
I
at
cannot
the end of the
find
week
any
it's
wall.
just
Oh,
all
no,
going.
there is.
Okay.
Because
Yes,
we need to
We are all going to be cheese. We're converging towards cheese.
Unusual.
Then
We're
you decide
eating-
from here you got
My-
it.
We're eating a little bit of everything,
Right.
but the cheese replenish is much faster than the rest.
You're good.
This is not really
Is
the
that
best
tea?
knife for this, but it's good.
The teapot? Yes. This is tea.
Actually, is it done already or? I guess it's on
Okay, do it now.
Yeah, this one is also.
Attention is very full.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yes,
this is
there we go,
exactly.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Saved.
That's fine.
Oh, yep.
Another one.
You have two each.
Right.
So I'm cutting some cheese for whoever wants.
Thank you.
Stefan's cutting the cheese.
You need to cut more.
Yeah, I know. Different types of cheeses. Yeah. That went fast. I shouldn't have said till I'm done.
Yeah.
Angry seagulls / scavengers.
That's
I think
French.
we have probably a better knife for this somewhere, but this with this cheese. Let's take some out.
So this is some
Bit each other.
pecan maple
Yeah, we'll give each other.
things. These two.
Oh,
Wait,
No, not these two.
Not these two, sorry. These two. These two.
Those
These two.
pecan maple.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's nice, yeah.
Maybe
Hey,
I bring a knife and we split it or?
I mean, we can just rip it.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, just put it on.
Are you sure? No, this is fine.
More with each other coming with each other. Oh, this is very vintage.
Oh.
What's that cheese?
What do they mean by vintage? Somebody forgot it for a few seasons.
Looks like this.
It's pistachio though.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, could be.
Cheese,
I mean, it's
I-
good.
Yeah, okay. Basically, I forgot that I was guessing.
It's basically
So
vintage
does it
storage of that.
Pistachio, but it's maple,
So I
right?
agree.
Oh, this cheese that we forgot from 10 years ago. That's kind
Is
of.
that a mistake?
Let's call it vintage and declare it the future. You know.
You know the big ones each?
Yeah.
We'll have
So,
some.
vintage.
No,
Guys,
Oh, did you manage to put it in all the same frame?
No, we haven't done it yet.
Oh,
You can put it here also.
Yeah, maybe I put it here because this is
pouring
too
around.
far. It's very full, so it's
He's eating up his 1 kilogram steak.
1 kilogram.
Christmas celebration.
Gabins.
What do you do with it?
Oh, this is some Irish magic.
Very
This,
good.
this
Any
Christmas?
coffee?
Oh, no, like a kiss
Oh, this
up?
one
We're
is-
gonna put you in the stuffing now, right?
Yes, yeah. Let's keep it true.
Guys, I
Okay.
think cheese.
Boss?
Yes.
Speech.
No, I thought he was some speech.
Who's speaking?
Bjorn?
No,
No?
I didn't learn
This one?
Yeah, put it here and I'll.
No, this one. Yeah.
Bjorn has something to say?
No?
Please, Björn, stand up.
He already said something like, I will try to translate. It sounded like.
I'll put it there. You take it from there.
So officially the workshop for today has now begun.
Yeah.
Our task for today is as follows. We must decide on what is the appropriate task for a grand challenge at ACA Multimedia, and we will consider a hackathon as well, but multimedia is the key thing today. We were given the money by SIGMM. They requested that we run something that's like VBS or LSC, or VBS and LSC actually, at ACM Multimedia. Get together, figure it out, do it.
And it has to be interactive.
They didn't say that, but since they said it has to be like, it should be like VBS/LSC, it probably is something with an interactive element to it. Data set released, bit of training data, maybe a closed workshop and a public open session. Right? That is what I think is gonna, I think this one, sorry, I think is gonna happen. And so looking for something that's not the obvious. Release a data set, set a date, get people together, run a challenge, give some topics, Q&A and ad hoc, and see what happens. That's the default approach. Is there something you want to do that's better or more novel than that? Does anybody have any ideas? Let's worry about the challenge first and the hackathon second, I think.
Well, the question is, does the challenge have to have one single task, or could it be multiple ones?
It's up to us. There's a
Because
workshop,
I,
and no, I imagine there will be an associated workshop and a grand challenge tied to the workshop.
because I think there have,
I vote multiple.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also thinking like, I mean, given the bias we'll have in the data set, there is a lot on research on multimedia for cooking, eating, so basically one task would be basically do whatever you have on your data set and just test it on this data set. Don't use any training data from this data set, see how this transfers to new data. And of course, I guess we want to do something like more LSC style interactive queries. I mean, from the backlog of things that we want to do is one thing that we always for VBS also had was trying to see how precisely you phrase queries or how simple you keep the language. There is always this tension between use simple words that everyone understands versus being precise. So that might be something also to study, but this is of course needs comparison. So either you split it at two groups. If we have enough participants, that could work, but we don't know in advance probably.
think we should like do a hybrid benchmark for everyone to compare their model when they create a new idea. But for annual competition, we should like change the class to new one and motivate them to create a new idea or change their method to compete with other teams. So yeah, that's my idea.
The usual grand challenge formats, which I think we should stick to at least for the part that we label as grand challenge, is an asynchronous operation. You get your data, you get your task, you get your time to process, to do whatever it is you think you need to do to solve the task. You send in your results, you get your scores back, and there's going to be result presentation of everybody or the top scoring teams depending on
So it's not very alike to LSE and VBS.
Yeah, I mean this is
Doesn't have to be
something
live.
we can do on top of this. That we have a session where something happens live. But
I think that's what they literally asked us. I
Do
mean, that's one thing that makes this format very unique, this interaction.
Right.
And why is it kind of, I think, interesting that we look at some form of interaction in the age of these conversational systems, because these are conversational systems been from the beginning.
So we can do some kind of data mining where they build a system, more like exploration system, and then at the challenge we will have very specific questions for that. For example, like regarding group dynamics, so they will have to build a system that can visualize the group dynamics and show some kind of interaction that more and very user experience based. And then at the challenge we ask some question live, and then you have to use the system to answer that. It's like who did I talk to the most today or something like that. But these questions are only released at the challenge live.
Yeah, so I would just not limit it to something like this because the barrier of entry for these sort of things is very high. Right, so you need a complete stack to be able to do this interaction.
Asynchronous and synchronous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just give out some tasks, people can put some algorithms together however they want. It only needs to run exactly once on whatever resources they might have, and they can produce those results. Right? This might not cover all the things, but it is certainly for some interesting tasks, it might be entirely sufficient that they can build the thing, it runs on whatever they have. It will take a while to run, we will produce some output, we will look at the output and tell them how well they did.
So something that has a low barrier to entry, asynchronous submission to take part in the grand challenge, but there is an interactive element to the grand challenge, which is tied to a workshop, which is somehow different than hackathon.
And I guess the hackathon should have all the things we can not evaluate, whereas there either we don't have a ground truth or there cannot be a ground truth because there is some ambiguity there, whereas the challenges should have a clear mechanism by which you can tell, okay, how much of this you got right.
We kind of do this with NTCIR, right? That email I send out periodically and everybody ignores. We kind of do this with NTCIR where we do have this asynchronous challenge. You build your system, you give me the queries, which we've got to look at for you today at least. Haven't seen them yet. We release the queries. The queries are more descriptive than an LSE query. It has a title, a description, and then a narrative that says, eating breakfast is relevant only if it includes Werner. Or there's some description like that. It makes it very, very clear. And people do that in their own time. By a certain date, they submit the runs. We pool all people's runs together and generate a ground truth. We don't evaluate everything. It's not a complete ground truth, it's a pool ground truth. So it's never going to be perfect, but it's going to be sufficient to differentiate systems. That we can do, not a lot. Okay, that's simple. We do that already. The challenge here is that it's probably a bit more difficult data to work with, but that's great. Then we can do some really interesting interactive things in that workshop. where the queries are different, like some kind of, really there's this interaction queries we have as well. The time I was talking to Ali about the NTCR queries we hadn't yet released. What was the outcome of that?
Interactions, like-
What was the outcome of that conversation? Those kind of things, much nicer things to do. And that's really interesting, I think, for an interactive challenge. Not just find it.
But this is a different, this is also somewhat difficult to evaluate, because, I mean, we need to phrase this very precisely, because what was the outcome of this conversation is not something that has a precise answer.
But that's what we do with the judges, right? The judges make decisions in these.
Yeah, but I currently what we have is like the judges get something that is a very short answer with some degrees of freedom, but if you like ask for outcome of a conversation, you could write a paragraph on that.
Yeah, well, okay, we limit the,
Should-
like we do this with the Q&A things already. What airline? Oh, Turkish Airlines, or whatever, Turkish, fine, vote okay.
That's how we do it. We only don't phrase it like that. So basically, how the queries in a non-item, and I think not in ad hoc, but in non-item, I think are formulated. That's multi-turn retrieval. If we don't go for a full conversation, but conversational search, for example, that's pretty much how you formulate and evaluate queries already. You provide a bit of information, then people start looking, then it's funny, you know, on the microphone people say, okay, nobody finding, and then typically Werner or you kind of says, additional piece of information, you know. Like that girl running up the hill with the father towards the flag. Then you provide the next bit of information.
But what
and
is the target? Is it a
Target is
pure
to-
retrieval task, as in find the end of this conversational chain for this example?
That's easier.
Or is it a,
easier to
you
evaluate.
need to somehow summarize this conversation into two phrases?
Evaluating summary is super difficult.
But
Well,
outcomes,
most of us did it at some point.
maybe my example was bad. It doesn't necessarily have to be the outcome of a conversation. It can be the outcome of cooking breakfast on the third day. How many croissants were left? Whatever is that kind of query, right? We make the query something that actually you can identify and you can be pretty sure is correct or reasonably correct.
Yes, but
Probably
this is a easy fact finding,
Yeah.
and then you could either have a pure value as a result, as in I did something, my answer is 3. I'm not going to tell you how I got it, or you have to actually identify the crossals and say, well, show me all the instances, and then I can go, oh yeah, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. There's actually
It's
those
just
are
different
the issue.
tasks.
The issue at IV or 4B, where one of the teams, actually online team, the guy was guessing the answers.
Yeah.
And he guessed it right twice.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Very badly, very badly.
Yes.
So you're moving towards like reasoning,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
providing evidence.
Yeah.
That's what Trekke did. You remember multimedia
Yeah.
event detection
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
and that was what I call summarization. And it was a bit of a blasphemy to call it summarization because it was just evidence. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess you can get to multiple levels. You can just provide an explanation and say, because I have seen those things on 3 pictures, that's how I come, or you really provide a list of evidence and say, this is the picture, this is the picture I
Yeah, you
used.
can
Yeah.
provide at this times,
Yeah.
edit times.
That's
on the
asynchronous then, right?
Meta task was asynchronous.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it in a synchronous thing as well if you have a system doing it. But of course, if you do that in an interactive way and you have things that the user reasoned and the system doesn't know about, then it gets difficult. Yeah, but at least I mean, I guess it could be interesting to build a system that also can keep this evidence. So basically, that when you provide the answer, you have the things you looked at and say, well, this is the information I used to come up with the answer.
I would like to bring an additional aspect to this discussion, because the Grand Challenge traditionally was always funded by companies and in a way that they also get some output, right? And even though I fully agree with all of you that we need interactive challenges, I think for the Grand Challenge at ACM Multimedia, we could also maybe do some subtasks like labeling. For example, many people in multimedia are working on food recognition. So it could be a collaborative annotation task also. And then later on, from that collaborative annotation, we could extract metadata and later on maybe use it for the interactive challenges as a ground truth, even though it might not be completely correct, of course.
But as a challenge, if you put it as a challenge, how do you evaluate it? I mean, the challenge has kind of this competition character.
Is that
Yeah.
not the hackathon stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's more a hackathon, yeah.
Looking at what came out of that meeting in ASM3 there the first morning, it was a health-based hackathon, is what they wanted to do. And we're naturally going to feed into that if we use this thing.
I mean, there's some
I don't
very
have to,
interesting
right?
things we can do about this. I mean, for example, all of these things have barcodes on them.
Right.
So you can cross-reference this with the International Product Database and know exactly what this was, and then you can track how much of this happens to be fresh
Right.
milk
Totally.
by Applegate.
Yes.
How much of this was consumed over what amount of time? Right, and I mean, essentially, it will be difficult to track who actually consumed what, but the methodology would be applicable if you have a smaller group of people. For a health tracking, you can say, okay, what did I actually eat? What is my nutritional profile, just based on things I've seen. This sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think this would be fascinating for a hackathon.
Yeah,
It would be very difficult for the grand challenge, because how do you evaluate this? Because we are not all secretly keeping track and having ground truth.
Maybe just one comment to this, because TrackQuit also does this part-based evaluation, right? Where they evaluate with some manual effort 10% of the submissions, and then approximate how much there will be.
Yeah, but if you do that, for example, with product annotations, I mean, even 10% is
Yeah.
crazy amount of work.
You're right.
So there are some grand challenges if you look at it. The way I kind of participated also in some, and the one that we won in New Yorker Melange that was 10 years ago at Monza. That one was brought by IBM, and because they were based in New York, you know, like they wanted really, this is the definition of grand challenge. We want to show New York using all this wealth of social media data from different perspectives. So competing teams had totally different solutions. Very interesting. Somebody focused on a fashion of the city, you know, like city of fashion, you know. Recommender systems, location recommender systems, and so on and so on. So when speaking about grand challenges, they have also tradition of these open-ended tasks. So in that sense, what we kind of discuss now as a hackathon could also fit grand challenge.
Right. But there the checking wasn't on individual items whether they're
No,
correct or not. It was
absolutely
really
not.
on
It
the
was like,
overall
what did
look
you
and
make?
feel of the thing.
Okay, but this is the more you have a jury that looks at this on the
Yeah,
shelf,
absolutely,
and
yes,
then
yes, yes.
It's more the look and the feel of the thing.
they
is more than-
essentially grade the
Yeah.
creativity and the quality of the output
Mhm.
and
Presentation also
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the conference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is also something that would be interesting to do, but I guess this would be two tracks within something like this, right? The more qualitative versus the more quantitative.
Well, in that case, there was only the one, right?
Pardon me?
There was only one track.
There was
of that
only
grand
one.
challenge.
There was only one track take because at that time for community it was really important to see what can we do. Everybody talks about this social multimedia wealth and so on. What can we do? You know, like, and let's start moving into building some systems that actually use it for something useful. You know, either tracking fashion trends. Hong Kong people did this, or location recommenders, what we did, and a few other groups as well, and so on and so on and so on. I'm just like saying here, there are many possibilities. It doesn't have to be really classic computer vision segmentation task or detection.
You can also track our fashion. Maybe find out who is wearing the same shirt or
So
something.
you changed, you know.
No, I mean,
I changed literally the same as you, and we both changed.
Answer recommendation.
There's just something
Well,
that
this is how you
is
should dress.
difficult to handle, and especially coming back to the interactive part of things, where